Hey everybody, EJ here. This is Eric Jackson's In the Know, and it's my first episode, so thanks for joining. So here's what we've got going on. I'm going to be giving you little tidbits, the kind of things that I take for granted, that I've either learned over the years or learned from my friends and family, or even people that are long retired out of kayaking and then didn't pass that knowledge on to you. But a lot of that stuff I remember, a lot of it's stuff I put into action every day. So I figure I might as well document it and get it out to you so that you can take advantage of a lot of the little things that I've done over the years that make my kayaking more fun and more effective. Today is going to be in the spirit of, we just had U.S. Freestyle Kayak trials, of which the second time in history I didn't make the U.S. kayak team. I'm first alternate. That's okay. Dane won team trials. Emily was second. Team Jackson Kayak did really well. And specifically, all boats in the surface category, meaning like men's, women's, even C1s, were the top three, or should say the U.S. team. Only 2 boats were not in a Jackson Kayak Rockstar. So, in the spirit of that, I'm going to go over the Rockstar a little bit. Not the boat itself. This isn't a sales pitch on the boat. This is assuming that you either have a Rockstar, an All-Star, or a freestyle kayak of any kind, and you want to get it outfitted properly. You want to make it work really well for you. The way my boat is outfitted and the way that we do things, it really does make a difference. So some of this stuff you may be aware of, some you may not. So I'm going to walk you through first. So here we have the boat. Let me tilt my camera down. So this is a Rockstar 4.0, and this is exactly how I used it in the freestyle competition. You know, a couple things let's just notice right out of the gate. I've got a happy seat, happy thruster combo, and it's not just the thruster, but it's the seat, and we'll talk about that in a second. But it doesn't work just the way it is. There's a trick to making it work right, and I'll show you that in a second. I have sweet cheeks on there, but I don't just have one sweet cheeks. I have 2 sweet cheeks. We'll get into that. There's something special about the way I did my hip pads that I'll tell you about that has to do with the back band. Of course, there's seat position, and then, of course, inside the boat, we've got none other than happy feet. And you have to know how to do that well. Okay, performance of the kayak. This is specific to the Rockstar 4.0. This particular boat, oh, by the way, if you haven't done already, so that you don't have to wonder when the videos are coming out, see right there on the subscribe button? Hit subscribe. There's only a lot more people seem to watch my videos, but they don't subscribe. Like, I think I have 5,000 subscribers, and I don't know, I have my Nissan video has like 260,000 views. Obviously people aren't subscribing. So anyway, click the subscribe. That way when I do each one of these, you'll get notified and you can decide whether to watch or not. Alright. Dun, 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 the 4.0 seat position, step 1. Before you do anything, you have to decide where your seat goes. Okay, I recommend, see the peak right here? I'll make that go around. This is the very peak of the knee bump right there. I recommend your kneecap goes right there for a starting point. If your kneecap is there, then you've pretty much balanced the boat. Now that you've got that place, and when I say you put it there, you sit there with your kneecap there and you feel your seat. If you're sitting on the back of your seat, move your seat back a little bit. If you're sitting on the front of your seat, move your seat forward a little bit. That's how you get the seat in the right spot. Now, if you're doing lots of big front loops, for example, you're in a hole and you just want to get maximum air, where do you put your seat? You move it back a little bit. The further back you put it, the bigger the bow, the bigger your loops. The further forward you put it, if you're in a swimming pool, you're trying to learn to do your first flat water cartwheel, the further forward you put it, the easier it is to get the bow down. So critical there. Move the seat all the way forward if you want to do flat water cartwheels and learn how to do a double pump. Move the seat back if you want to do big loops. Now, if you're wave surfing and you're in a Rockstar 4.0 and you want to do clean blunts and get the boat off the water easily, This boat is longer than our previous models. The stern is a little bit longer and the bow is a little longer. If you don't move your seat back a little bit for blunts, you're going to find it harder to get off the water. People will be like, man, I can't seem to blunt that Rockstar 4.0. It's like, yeah, it's because your seat's too far forward. Put it all the way forward, and you'll be like, wah! You'll be locked to the water pretty much. Yes, you can get it off, but it's a lot easier to get it off the water when the seat's adjusted accordingly. So I highly recommend, whatever your normal position was on a previous boat, move your seat back for that, the Rockstar 4.0, for any wave tricks. The way the bow is shaped and the way the bow is really curved, can you see that? The way the bow is really curved there, like it takes off incredibly well backwards. So even with the seat back, getting back moves is real easy. Okay, next, let's talk about the hip pads. So I've got a little trick I do with the hip pads. One of the things that annoys me more than anything is you do a front loop, a McNasty, Phonics Monkey, something like that, and you find yourself sitting on your back band. Have you ever found yourself on the back band? You want to know how to fix it? Well, this is how you fix it. It's real easy. There's something specific. Now, our back bands are designed to move with your body. That means when you lean back, it curves with you, moves up and down. That specific feature keeps you in the boat, but doesn't bind up at all. So it's really comfortable on the back. It's good for the back. In other words, the back band supports your back properly no matter what you're doing. The more active you are, the better our back band is. However, if you don't do this little trick, you might find yourself sitting on the back band. Let's take a look. Okay, let me tighten the back band a little bit. All right, notice when the back band is tight that it's hitting the hip pads, okay? I have this adjusted for me so that I don't sit on the back band. What I've done is I've got my hip pads up high, and I've put an extra piece of foam in here so that this rope lays on the hip pad. That keeps the back band up. That's how I adjust the back band upwards. And if you look inside, pop that off, tip it over. Look what I've done. See this little folded piece of foam? I've taken a shim and I fold it over and then tuck it right in here like, how do I do that? Hold my camera at the same, there you go. And I tuck it in like that. Boom. And that provides the extra support for the hip pad. That's a good trick right there. Okay. Next, this boat is one of our tallest boats. I sit on 200 Sweet Cheeks. I've got two 100s in there. You can also get a 200 Sweet Cheeks in our store. Go to jacksonkayak.com, order the Sweet Cheeks. Okay, next. This Happy Seat thruster combo is absolutely critical. If you don't have a Happy Seat, Happy thruster combo in your Freestyle Kayak, I feel sorry for you. First, the Happy Seat is like toe clips on a bicycle. What is a Happy Seat? Happy Seat lifts under your leg and actually holds your leg up into the thigh braces. So it holds up into the thigh braces, so that means you can push down against the Happy Seat with your leg as well as lift up on your knee on the other side. Gives you way more control side to side. And when you're in the boat, it looks like this. Drop right in. This is so comfortable, I can't tell you. You get in and then you just blow this up. Oh yeah. So this is tight, tight, tight. Right now my leg is super tight right here. Now the Happy Thruster, you'd blow that up as little or as much as you want. And that of course gives you a lot more air on loop moves. And when I say a lot more air, the difference between having this blown up and not having it at all is so huge it isn't even funny. So anyway, if you haven't tried it, you got to try it. But if I had to pick one of the two pieces, if I could only have one, a Happy Thruster or a Happy Seat, I'd have the Happy Seat. Why? Because that's part of my outfitting that holds me in the boat, helps me roll, control the boat a lot better. Okay, so my seat position, where's my kneecap? It's right in the center, but slightly back. Why slightly back? Because at NOC at team trials, I wanted to get really big loops, that's why. And I got a few of those. So seat back slightly, double sweet cheeks. So why am I in a double sweet cheeks? Double sweet cheeks is because it's lifting me up into the boat. If you first sit in this boat and you're like, man, I feel like I'm sitting in a bathtub. I'm sitting way down in the boat. Well, you're not sitting up high enough. You need another sweet cheeks in there. It comes with a sweet cheeks 100. And for most people, unless you're really tall and really lanky, it's probably not going to be enough. So you need to add a second sweet cheeks, or you need to buy sweet cheeks 200. Pretty cool. When you're sitting up higher, basically it's kind of like, my analogy is sitting at a table in a normal chair, and then you go to a bar and you sit at the bar and you have a normal chair and you're like, man, this table's too high. No, you get in a bar stool, you raise the seat up, and all of a sudden the perfect height. It's the same thing with the Rockstar 4.0. If you're sitting at the right height, the cockpit doesn't feel big at all. Also gives you more leverage to throw the boat around, bigger loops, easier cartwheels, stuff like that. All right, last but not least, the happy feet. Let's see if we can't peek inside. Here, there you go. Can you see? Look at that. That's my Vans, size 8. Can you see in there? Good. Size 8 Vans fit perfectly. There's nowhere to move. My footprint is perfectly installed in the happy feet. Do you need me to give you a tutorial on how to do the happy feet? I guess I can do it. Basically, you position the bag properly. You get in. You hold your feet in the position that you would like them to be when you're paddling. You don't try to push down and put pressure on the happy feet. You just hold your feet steady in the position that's comfortable. Then you blow air into the big tube, this one. Blow air in. Keep your feet in position. And then you pump up the ball, bump, 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 until your feet are tight. Then you suck the air out, close it down, and you've locked it in place. It's that simple. Cool. All right, what else we got? That's the seat position, happy seat. Oh, I need to do one more thing. There's a critical thing about how to do the happy seat. This bag is not big enough to push your legs tight against the top unless you glue foam under the happy seat. When I first designed the happy seat, it was designed when the cockpits were way lower, the All-Star 2004, 2005, or whatever. So check it out. I lift it up, and let's take a look. See this foam in here? It's just 2 pieces of foam I've glued it. What that foam does is lifts your happy seat up and makes it a lot tighter, so you don't have to blow it up as much. Works really good. It's easy to do, and it makes it really tight. If you don't do that, even with it fully inflated, you won't be driving your knees up into the cockpit well enough. All right, so that is outfitting the Rockstar 4.0. Your next step is to, if you haven't subscribed, click subscribe, leave a comment, do a like, leave a comment. Your next comment, or your comment, is to give me suggestions on what I should do next. What do you want to see next? And that is 100% up to you. Hey, there's another one of those boats. Whoa. With my cool RV. Look at all the boats back here. Nirvana, Zens, Mixmaster. So you've got a lot of options on what you can request. So these are whitewater skills, whitewater outfitting, anything related to whitewater that you think I might know that you would like to know. But I have a few that you may not know that I'm going to just throw out there anyway. So hopefully this will be fun. See you next week.